Hey Google.
Hi, my name is Google. How are you? What does media mean? Well, media is spelled as media and pronounced as media. It is the main means of mass communication. It could talk about the internet, broadcasting, publishing, and etc. What are you relating to? What is media literacy? I see. Well, media literacy is an essential skill in the digital age, coded by commonsensemedia.org. This means that since we live in a generation where media is widely used, it has the ability to assess, analyze, and create media in various forms. Take me as an example. Google. I may be your best friend in many ways, from research to asking me how to peel a banana. You see, basic knowledge can be acquired from the internet. Huh? Incognito? Incognito mode on. Would you want me to continue to answer?
Yes, please.
According to another research that I have gathered, coming from the Center for Media Literacy, is that media therefore is about helping students to become competent, critical, and literate in all media forms, in the means of having to control their interpretation of what they see and hear from the internet. Snapchat, do you know something about information literacy?
What is information literacy? Information literacy includes the ability to identify, find, evaluate, and use information effectively. From effective search strategies to evaluation techniques, students learn how to evaluate the quality, credibility, and validity of websites and give proper credit. Information literacy has also been referred to as digital literacy or media literacy. Regardless of the terminology, be it digital literacy or media literacy, having information literacy skills are the fundamentals to thrive in a digital space. Foundational information and digital literacy skills, such as conducting strategic online searches, judging the legitimacy of online sources, sifting out misinformation, and recognizing advertising, are up in the alley of information literacy. Jeremy J. Shapiro and Shelley K. Hughes in Educom Review entitled Information Literacy as a Liberal Art, Volume 31, Number 2 release date, March to April 1996, also define 7 aspects of information literacy. And number 1, in its narrowest sense, information literacy includes the practical skills involved in effective use of information, technology, and information resources, either print or electronic. And number 2, information literacy is a new liberal art technical skills and is conceived as the critical reflection on the nature of information itself, its technical infrastructure, and its social, cultural, and even philosophical context and impact. The last 5 would be the information literacy curriculum, which includes number 3, tool literacy, the ability to use print and electronic resources, including software. Number 4, resource literacy, the ability to understand the format, location, and access methods of information resources. Number 5, social structural literacy, knowledge of how information is socially situated and produced. It includes understanding the scholarly publishing process. Number 6, research literacy, the ability to understand and use information technology tools to carry our research, including discipline-related software. And lastly, number 7, publishing literacy, the ability to produce a text or multimedia report of the results of research.
Is this thing working? Oh, such a cute picture. Oh yeah, the video. How does information literacy apply to the real world? Information literacy is the ability or one's ability to gather information that they seek. The world has many problems. We can't avoid having complications in life since it's just human nature to cause problems. It could be about political problems like human rights and access to justice, or even a personal problem like I have this big test tomorrow and all I did was procrastinate. Now that's your problem, not mine. Applying rational thinking and through on research will give you the possibility to resolve the problem. Although that isn't always the case. For you students out there, beware of misinformation. By applying the so-called skills, the students out there can learn how to evaluate the integrity and consistency of websites using effective methods. You can as well consider the motives of commercial websites and advertisements with caution. Let's not forget the chance to improve the quality and validity of online search results by using variety search techniques. You basically use information literacy in your everyday life. Most certainly at school, you'll have to do a thesis in which research is involved, solving math equations, or even simple questions which needs to be looked through the internet. The way the internet evolved from sharing information to creating social media platforms, like me, IG. Well, that's all the time I have. I'ma go and take some cat pictures.
Good morning, everyone. I'll be answering question number 4. What do we know about the world? So, we know a lot of things about the world. Even I myself know some things about the world, and the reason as to why we know a lot of things about the world is because we live in a generation where we can get a lot of information from the internet or from the media. For example, the coronavirus pandemic. Anything we want to know about the coronavirus pandemic can be taken from the internet. Any information we need, we can get from the media. But since we live in this generation where everybody is using the internet, the information we get from the media can get out of hand. For example, fake news. So first, what is fake news? Fake news is false or misleading information presented as news. It often has the aim of damaging the reputation of a person or entity, or making money through advertising revenue. Media scholar Nolan Higdon has defined fake news as false or misleading content presented as news and communicated in formats spanning spoken, written, printed, electronic, and digital communication. Now, why are fake news created? Fake news are created to be widely shared online for the purpose of generating ad revenue via web traffic or discrediting a public figure, political movement, or a company, and more. Now, my answer to the question, what do we know about the world, would be, as I said a while ago, we know a lot of things about the world. We have a lot of information, but some of those information can be fake. Thank you very much.
So how do we get to know what we know about the world? Well, everyone knows the value of media and information, and that nowadays it's really easy to get that much information online through social media and other sources. You get to know about relevant topics that you may or may not really care about or didn't want to know about, but it's still there, like the death of Prince Philip, for example. But because of it, we were able to get news of an outbreak and we were able to prepare for it. And that's due to many people putting out media and information every single day. And if you're one of those people that consume media every single day, you know that it's really easy to get caught up in relevant topics. There are a lot of sources of information around the world, and take Wikipedia, for example. Because we get to know so much about the world and its history, we don't really pay attention to which information is true and which information isn't. So people like to talk, people like to make fake news, people like to make fake news articles. Some of them are even being paid to do that. but you shouldn't be trusting of every single thing that you read on the internet. You could be scrolling through your feed, taking in useless information until you find something useful, something meaningful. And it's up to you on what you do with that information, whether you share it with your friends or keep it to yourself or whatever. The only thing that matters is that you learn something from it in the end. The only things you need to keep in mind is that not everything you read on the internet is true, and that you shouldn't consume too much media. Too much media would be bad for you. Too much of anything would be bad for you. So that's it. Yeah.